Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. And now time for the end of the month report from our host with Shenanigans statements of the Statesman. And now here is the Statesman of Shenanigans himself, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Episode 1241, and this is the final day of February. As you know, this will be my third installment of Shenanigans Statements of the Statesman. That's right. Well, I talk about my thoughts on February, the month of February 2024. As you know, usually I have 28 days, the shortest month of the year. But it's leap year, so we have leap day, the 29th. As you know, every time you get near February, March of a new year, usually you have to do some beginnings, like, sometimes you got your excise tax. You get your the other you're about to do your taxes every year. Let's see. I got my birthday coming up. Every time in New Year you get real life stuff to deal with, though, and sometimes you deal with them, and sometimes you deal with them right away. Sometimes you wait till later on to deal with them, but don't wait too long. That's my advice. This was an interesting month, to say the least. February usually is a month I look forward to back in the day when Power Ranger season starts. A new team of Power Rangers comes up, and you're really excited, you get to watch it and stuff. And I got all of them on DVD, basically. So, except for, obviously, Beast Morphers to Cosmic Fury, and which kind of sucks that you don't have them on DVD, man. That sad day. Anyways, we had probably the biggest snowstorm in about a year. Because lately here in New Bedford we had not, until a couple weeks ago, we had not had a major snowstorm. We had nothing but 1 to 3 inches worth of snow and everything else, which is not that bad. And usually it's no big deal. Sometimes when we shovel snow, it's like on just one side. One side doesn't have any snow, the other side does. So it's like, but things on Valentine's Eve, the 13th, we had a major snowstorm, and I don't know how much snow we had that day here in New Bedford. Probably 6, 7. I think we were in the bullseye amount of 8 to 12 inches that day. And I gotta tell you, this is the first time in a long time we had a major snowstorm. We ended up closing the mall at 2. The mall was open for a short time from 11 to 2 that day. And I thought I was going to stay there until the storm subsided. But they said, Eric, you can go home. Call my father, pick me up. And I am very happy. Then we had to deal, and then I went to, for the first time by myself, went to Plymouth, Massachusetts, a week later. And to go to a restaurant that my former coworker worked at the time of his passing. We celebrated the life of one Napoleon R. Candida Jr. We call him Junior. He used to work at Ruby Tuesday a long time ago, over 20 some odd years ago, and I've known him for quite a while. And just last time I saw him is when on my final days as a member of the Ruby Tuesday Dartmouth crew, because I quit there back in April of 2010. The last day of April of 2010 was my last day working there, and because excuse me. Didn't start YouTube till the year after, which this year will be 13. This year marks 13 years being here on YouTube, which is really, really surreal if you think about it. And this coming this coming Wednesday, my birthday, will be exactly 15 years since I've been on the internet. 15 years, which is really, really surreal. I can't believe 2004 is 20 years ago. Holy mackerel. Time is flying. I mean, time is flying. It's like, what the bleep is going on here? So, to say the least, and it's amazing. Anyways, we went to the restaurant that he worked, my former coworker worked at the time of his passing. Alden Park Bar and Grill. It was a beautiful place. I got there with no problem. The only mistake I made was when I got to the plaza, I took a wrong turn because the plaza was so huge. Like I said, it was like a big shopper city type deal. It was like a city within a city, you know, like a city of shopping stores. And like, holy man, it was a huge deal. It was like a big thing. It was like one of the biggest plazas in Massachusetts history, or something. Shopping plazas in Massachusetts history, you know. I thought it was amazing, and probably that's what's kind of threw me off. But I ended up making a few turns, got a U-turn, banged a U-turn, boom, right back on track, made it there. Then tried to find a parking space. There was a lot of people there. Found a parking space. I walked inside, and I was kind of nervous of how many people I'm going to see, who I'm going to see as far as out of my Ruby Tuesday Dartmouth crew. That, you know. But I was the first one there, and I took a look around, and I was like totally just mind blown about a lot of people that this young man has touched. On the lives, I've done a lot of lives has touched. Excuse me. What you were saying, Eric? And I was blown away by the number of people whose lives this young man has impacted. And the crazy part about that is that only me and my 6 other former coworkers were there. My former boss, who I've worked under for 8 years, the other former coworkers that were there, my bartender and my other manager, who started off as a server when I was working there. In fact, they were two of the Ruby originals. They've been there since the very beginning until they both left. That they were there. So I talked with the 3 of them, caught up with them. A former cook showed up. He was there. And then a former kitchen manager who started off as a cook, and his wife, who started off as a server there. They were all there. So it's 7 of us representing Ruby Tuesday Dartmouth. It was good to see them. I got a chance to talk to them, catch up with them, and it was really, really good. We're celebrating. And what amazes me is that, I was wearing all black, and we were supposed to celebrate life. Celebrate a life of a good person. I'm wearing all black like I'm in the morning. But I think, be respectful and all. I wore my cowboy hat. I could have worn a black fedora, and he wore fedoras. Fedoras were cool hats, man. I think I could have worn one just to honor him by. But the coolest part is one of his aunts came up to me and introduced herself. I told her who I was, and she told me thank you for coming, and it was really, really cool. They had a raffle, which I didn't take part in. Was it $1,049 was the prize money won. But some guy won it, but he decided to give it to his family. Awesome move on the guy's part. I think it was really, really. I think it was really, really cool that he decided to do that. And why not? And that's what we're here for. That's what we're there for, to celebrate him and to help out the family and cheer them up, and just for the guy to do that. That's top class right there. It's top class, let me tell you. So, not only that, we end up, here in my house, my family, we ended up dealing with a double whammy of things that affected our kitchen big time. Our refrigerator broke, and our dishwasher. First, our dishwasher broke. Then our refrigerator broke. My parents are none too happy about it, obviously. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, So, it was a total shock, but we still have a working refrigerator down cellar. So, the crazy part about this whole thing is that, so my parents are going to be, the original plans was they were going to my brother-in-law and my sisters in, Connecticut this weekend, but that plan's out the window. So, because of broken appliances in our house, and they needed to be replaced. Then we got the news, if you're a wrestling fan like myself, one of the original founding members of the Four Horsemen wrestling stable, wrestling faction, Ole Anderson, had passed away at the age of 81. Him and Arn Anderson were known as the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, the original members of the Minnesota Wrecking Crew. Flair, they formed a team with Flair. I don't know who was the original Four Horsemen. I'm going to look that up. Let me just, just because I've been getting a lot of I want to get. Let me just look up original Four Horsemen. Original Four Horsemen wrestling team. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, duh. Tully Blanchard. It was the Andersons, Arn and Ole, Tully Blanchard, and Ric Flair. That's. I should have figured. I should have known. I was just somewhere. Tessa Blanchard goes, "It was my dad. It was my dad. It was my dad. You wrestling dunce." I don't know if somebody as beautiful as Tessa would try to grab me by the throat. I'll be like, I'll be dying to go to heaven. Anyways, yeah. So it was Ric Flair, Arn and Ole Anderson, and Tully Blanchard. You know, Ric Flair, Ole Anderson, the Brainbusters, like to call them. As you know, and J.J. Dillon was their manager, and Ole Anderson could cut promos. He started a fight with Piper, Roddy Piper. That turned, I think Piper called him Pigface. So I thought that was crazy. Those were crazy times back in the 80s. And he is, 81. That's basically, a full life for him. And just, and I want to thank Ole Anderson for his contributions to wrestling, especially. I don't know if he isn't inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. He should be. He should be. Because he did originate the Four Horsemen. I think the Four Horsemen were the original wrestling stable. You start off, and that gave birth to, like the NWO wrestling stable, the Bullet Club, Judgment Day, all these stables that you see today, which is even hilarious. Sometimes stables will split. Some stables last long, sometimes they don't. Also, just found out yesterday that Michael Jones, a.k.a. Soul Train Jones, a.k.a. Virgil, recently passed away at the age of 61. Now, Virgil got into prominence by being the bodyguard for the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, which was that was a huge deal. And his face turned, and he broke out when he turned against Ted DiBiase in the 1991 Royal Rumble in a tag match against Dusty and Dustin Rhodes, and Virgil wanted to go pick up the $1 Million belt and hit DiBiase with it, turning him face, and Roddy Piper had a hand in it, and became the $1 Million champion in SummerSlam '91. He lost the $1 Million title back to DiBiase on Tuesday in Texas that same year. It was a crazy deal at that time. But 1991 was kind of Virgil's breakout year. And he continued to be an enhancement talent for a couple of years. Left the WWE World Wrestling Federation around 94, 95. In the mid-90s, joined WCW by becoming a member of the NWO Wrestling Stable in 96, 97, I believe. And then the last WWE appearance that he was you got to go date back to 2010. When he was in the corner of Ted DiBiase Jr., which, the man is in trouble right now, Ted DiBiase Jr. I think he was referred to as Uncle Virgil, or was they referred to IRS as Uncle Irwin. Then, I think his final appearance in wrestling in total was during the segments of Chris Jericho, or Jericho Appreciation Society, what was you got Jericho Appreciation Society, you got the Pinnacle, Inner Circle, and that whole bit. And he was known as Soul Train. He made an appearance as Soul Train Jones. And he tweeted about, Sauce Money, Olive Garden, and all that. And and I know Joey Janela became fast friends with him and all. And the month of February has been been a roller coaster ride, per se. Don't know what March is going to bring. I know I got jury duty unless I don't. And usually you check on to see if you're needed. If you're needed, you can come in. If you don't, that's okay. I haven't heard any major cases or anything like that. But if I do come in, I do come in. If I don't, I don't. And we'll see what happens. Usually you can check online to see whether or not you're needed or not. And I'll be taking a vacation that same week, so that's the week that I'm on jury duty as well. So the day that I'm on jury duty, I'm taking that week off. The second week of March. First full week of March, though. No, the second full week of March. Excuse me. It is the second full week of March. And then I requested the second full week of April. Or is it the first full week of April? I think the second full week of April. The 8th through the 13th. And because it's post-WrestleMania week, so that whole ordeal. And so hopefully, now, I know Contra Operation Galuga is supposed to come out March the 12th. Excuse me, so if I don't have jury duty that day or something like that, I will probably try and get the whole thing. But, who knows for sure what will happen. And then probably that whole week I'm going to try to get my Xbox One set up that week. Now, I don't know what exactly is going to happen. I mean, I got all the W2K games, so I should have 2K24 2 days, a week from tomorrow, basically. So that's coming out, 2K24 a week from tomorrow. That's coming out. Let's see. So baseball spring training is starting off. Red Sox are, 1-2? I know they lost the game to the Nationals. They lost on a walk-off to Baltimore Orioles. They beat the Twins to start off the Chairman's Cup. And they beat Northeastern. Technically, we're 2-2. If we count the Northeastern game. I know that's an exhibition game, but still. It's a spring training game. They're all exhibition games, so to speak. Because, spring training is to have a feel out and everything else, of which players go where. And So basically, that's all we got. So that's all the time we have on this show. We'll find out what's going on. Plus, Rant and Rave have just a second. Give me a second. Okay, let's conclude this video. I just got word that we actually are getting a new fridge, thanks to Amazon. I didn't know Amazon sells refrigerators. That's the crazy part. I gotta look that up. I gotta look that up when I leave, man. It's crazy, and they're getting it tomorrow, which is wonderfulness. So, final video, except for the TNA event center that I'll do later on. Keep you posted. Rant and Rave is tonight, episode 229. We're gonna talk about No Surrender, Elimination Chamber. The results from those two events, and coming up, Revolution. Really excited. Let's see what happens. Let's see what else is going. What happens, as you know. So we're going to talk about that tonight. I'm going to watch some TNA on my tablet while I'm at it. Then you got tomorrow. We got some Fearless Friday with Bullseye. SmackDown, NXT Level Up, and AEW Rampage. And then Saturday, you're going to have your Card Strike Saturdays, your AEW Collision to end the week and to start March off. And we'll be down, almost to springtime, And most of the snow that we got back in that storm, Valentine's Eve, most of it's gone. About 95% of it around here in the South Coast of snow. gonzo. We still have 5% of it left. So that is it. That's all the time we have on this wonderful show. And one more death that we have to address. Stacey Wakefield, who is the widow of Red Sox pitching legend Tim Wakefield, had passed away as well yesterday. They leave behind 2 children, Trevor and Brianna. Trevor is 20, Brianna 19. They're very young, and for them to have to deal with this in 5 short months, it's cut. I just pray that they pray for that. They've been given strength, not only just physically but mentally and spiritually inside. Hopefully they have a good support system surrounding them, and as far as other family members, friends, to support them. I know they're going to be going through a rough patch. I mean, they're just not yet adults, and for them to have to deal with this, I can't imagine. I just cannot imagine this. So, condolences, prayers as well for the rest of the Wakefield family, families of both Tim and Stacey, and to Trevor and Brianna Wakefield. Red Sox organization, because they've done a lot for the Red Sox organization, and for them to lose 2 good people, it's really, really devastating. So that's my Shenanigan statements of the Statesman, a little Shenanigan tribute to Napoleon R. Candida Jr., Ole Anderson, Michael Jones, a.k.a. Virgil, and Stacey Wakefield. Condolences and prayers to the families of all these individuals that have been taken away from us much too soon. So, thank you very much for tuning in. And until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, please take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, doing for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.